Have you ever wanted to build a really professional-looking website, but you just felt stopped by all the tech? What if I told you that you absolutely do not need to be a coding genius to create something incredible online? Well, today, we're going to break down the exact roadmap to do just that. Okay, let's dive right in.
You know, this quote from our source material really just gets to the heart of it all. Learning the skill isn't really just about websites. It's about opening up new opportunities, maybe a new income source, and hey, maybe even a completely new path for yourself.
And that right there, that is the core promise of this whole no-code movement. It's not about memorizing complex computer languages anymore. It's all about using powerful visual tools and, most importantly, following a proven plan. And we're going to lay out that exact plan for you right now.
So let's really unpack this no-code promise. We're not just talking about building a personal blog as a little side hobby. We are talking about developing a real, marketable skill, one that can create a genuine income stream and, just like our source suggests, can be a real path toward more freedom in your work and in your life. And this is how we get there. It's all about breaking the entire process down into 3 simple phases: planning, setup, and then the fun part, design. This approach turns what could be a really overwhelming task into a structured, totally manageable journey. So let's start with the first and, honestly, the most crucial phase.
Every great structure, whether it's a house or a website, it all starts with a solid blueprint. The real secret to a smooth and, importantly, a fast website build is doing all the thinking before you ever touch the tools. This is where you lay the foundation for your success.
And here it is, the 4-step process for a solid plan. It looks simple, but I'm telling you, getting this right is the secret sauce. First, you map your structure. What pages lead where. Second, nail down your name and logo. Third, you list out every single page you're going to need: home, about, services, contact, maybe a blog. And finally, you gather all your content, every piece of text, every single image, and you put it all into one folder. The big takeaway here is to separate your planning from your building. That way, when you finally open the tools, you're just assembling the pieces. You're not scrambling to find them.
Okay, with our blueprint ready to go, it is time to set up our digital workshop. Now, this is the quote-unquote technical part, but don't you worry, we are going to make it super simple with a couple of easy analogies.
First up is web hosting. I want you to think of it like this. If you want to build a house, the very first thing you need is a piece of land, right? Well, web hosting is that digital land. It's the space on the internet where all your website's files will live, so that anyone in the world can come and visit. So if hosting is the land, then your domain name is simply the street address. It's that unique name, like google.com or yourbusiness.com that people type into their browser to find you. It's how the internet knows exactly where to send your visitors.
So, with our land and our address sorted, these are the 3 essential tools we need for our workshop. We've got Hostinger for our hosting. It's a great all-in-one provider, perfect for beginners. Then there's the Astra theme, which acts as our design foundation. It's super lightweight, which basically means a faster website for you. And finally, Elementor Pro. This is our main power tool. It is the industry-leading visual builder that lets us design everything with simple drag and drop, absolutely no code needed.
All right, our workshop is all set up, so now we get to move into the most exciting phase, the design. This is where the plan and the tools all come together. I want you to think of it less like coding and more like building with digital Lego blocks. You're just bringing your website to life piece by piece. And this is a brilliant way to understand the core concept of building with Elementor. You always start with a container. Just think of it as a shelf. Its job is to hold and organize everything. Then you place elements inside of it. These are the actual items on the shelf, like your headings, your images, and your buttons. It's a really simple but incredibly powerful system. Okay, so we can place blocks on the page. That makes sense. But how do we go from these basic blocks to a stunning, professional-looking design? How do we actually control the style? Well, you have a complete styling toolkit right at your fingertips. You can control all the typography, the fonts, the sizes. You can set the exact colors for everything. You can manage the spacing with padding, which is the space inside a border, and margin, which is the space outside of it. You can even create cool hover effects so a button changes color when a user's mouse moves over it. The point is, you have total creative control. So, we've gone from a plan to a fully designed website. That's incredible. But let's bring this all the way back to that initial promise. How do you actually turn this new skill into a real service, a real business? The source material lays out a really clear path for this. You can literally find local businesses on Google Maps that need a better website.
You can find projects on freelance platforms like Upwork. You build the site, and once the client is happy, you simply hand over the login details. That's it. You've just delivered a high-value service.
So the main takeaway here is this: the path from a simple idea to a potential new income stream is clearer than it has ever been. It is not about being a tech expert. It is about having the right roadmap, and we've just walked through it, step by step. So now the only real question left is, what are you going to build first?